Pia Salk. I mean, your opinions are so valuable, and the information that you bestow on us is so useful.
Thank you.
And we thank you very much for it all. Preparation is really the key element to a successful adoption. Asking yourself the right questions. What should we be thinking about before we adopt?
Well, adopting from a shelter is a great place to get a family pet. And a lot of people are surprised to learn that animals end up in shelters for no fault of their own. So the main reason animals are getting into shelters now are because people are moving, or they don't have time for an animal, things like that.
Or they can't afford to feed it.
Absolutely. So, but that has nothing to do with the dog.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So asking yourself some key questions, looking at that and asking yourself questions ahead of time sets you up for success. For example, why are you getting a dog? Are you a young couple who's experimenting with the idea of having children? That's a little bit of a risky reason that doesn't take into account the long term. Are you a family who's finally got your dream house and has a yard and children willing to take on the responsibility?
And a dog belongs, right?
Right, exactly. So just asking yourself those questions. Then one very important question is, who is getting the dog? So even if a family is going to share responsibility for things, walking the dog, things like that, there needs to be one primary caretaker for the lifespan of the dog.
And if it's a disinterested husband who drags the dog.
Exactly.
I saw somebody dragging a dog the other day behind him. He was reading the newspaper or his BlackBerry or something, and a little tiny dog was being dragged along the sidewalk.
Right, and
I did stop.
You did.
And I did say, "You're dragging your dog."
Good. And that's a great example.
I think it was because it's me. I mean, he could have thrown his BlackBerry at me, but he looked at me and he said, "Oh my God!" He picked up the dog and he was very much nicer. And he'll think about it.
Right, exactly. So you don't want an animal to end up at the shelter because they're saying, "I didn't want the dog, you wanted the dog."
Okay,
so looking at the specific needs the animal has and who can meet them.
And so now you're ready to adopt. Tell us about AAP. I love that. AAP, Adopt a Pet.
AdoptAPet.com is North America's largest nonprofit pet adoption web service. Purina is the main sponsor, and thanks to their commitment to animal welfare, it is a free service. As you can see, tons of information about animals. We have approximately 200,000 animals, all kinds of animals currently waiting. I know, great animals.
Gosh.
Dogs, cats, you can get a pig if you want a pig.
So show us how the site works.
So essentially it's what I love about the website is that you can go to a website with your family. Here you go. You can put in your zip code and you can get used to the idea of having a dog before you're making an impulse decision. So you can search by breed, by gender. 25% of animals coming into shelters are purebreds now. So you can get most anything you're looking for. And if an animal does not match your search criteria, AdoptAPet.com will alert you when one coming into a shelter
does. And you have
does.
very good photos of all those animals, don't you?
Yeah, they're great animals. And it's really a great way to plan ahead.
Yeah. Well, you've brought a couple of dogs that are on Adopt a Pet looking for good homes. So here, let your hearts melt, everybody. Oh, now who's this?
So this is, you see, you can make an impulse decision very easily, right? This is Frankie. Frankie is available for adoption through North Shore Animal League and is on AdoptAPet.com. 8 weeks old. Needs to be house trained, needs a lot of exercise just by virtue of being a puppy, and will grow bigger. So do you live in an apartment complex that only allows an animal to be 20 pounds? So what are you going to do then?
Frankie here.
And wonderful, sweet hound mix, but definitely we need to see into the future. Very easy for us to say, oh my God, let's take this dog home.
Oh, so
But planning ahead is key.
Come on, Frankie.
So.
Would you like a little doggy biscuit? Oh, he's too young for that, right?
Well, you know.
Who knows? Maybe.
Just keep an eye on him.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely needs supervision. And frankly, I think having a child responsible for training a puppy is too much responsibility.
Yes.
They're looking for the enjoyment of having an animal. This is Brandon. Brandon, totally different dog. Thank you. Totally different dog.
Look at you, Brandon.
Purebred Maltese. Brandon is available at Posh Pets Rescue in Manhattan and on AdoptPet.com.
What a cute.
I know, such a cutie.
This is a Maltese?
This is a Maltese, 4 years old,
so
plenty of life ahead. And I'm a big fan of adopting an adult dog because it's a known quantity. We know enough about Brandon's history to know who he gets along with, if he's good with children. We know his size. This dog is far smaller than this dog will be.
Yes.
So just stopping, counting to 10, and thinking of those things is important.
Yes.
So would make a great family pet and can travel with somebody.
If your kids want a dog, but it's not the right time for you, what should you do?
It's actually a great opportunity. I think parents should definitely share in the excitement that their child wants to take on the care of a pet. But it is an important time to teach them what that will entail. So you can perhaps foster an animal for a rescue group. You can also walk the neighborhood dogs for a while as you're preparing. Kids actually like the idea of getting prepared.
Aw.
So
How about
it's a great
two
opportunity.
dogs, somebody out there?